সমস্ত প্রিয় বন্ধু, সম্মানিত শিক্ষক এবং ছাত্রগণ, তো আজ আমরা যখন এই অসাধারণ 6 মাসের কোর্সটি আনুষ্ঠানিকভাবে সমাপ্ত করতে একত্রিত হয়েছি, তখন আমি স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ এবং ওনার শ্রদ্ধেয় গুরু শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণ পরমহংসদেবের শেখানো একটি গভীর সত্যের কথা মনে করছি, যে কোনো কিছুই সত্যিকারের শেষ হয় না। এটা ঠিক যেমন আপনি যখন একটি নেটফ্লিক্স সিরিজ শেষ করেন, তখন সবসময় একটা নতুন সিজন বা অন্তত একটা স্পিন অফ কিছু থাকে। আজকের দিনটা আমাদের যাত্রার সমাপ্তি মনে হতে পারে, তবে বাস্তবে এটি আরো কিছু গভীরতর, কিছু মহান্তর কিছুর শুরু মাত্র। স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ শিক্ষাকে অত্যন্ত গুরুত্ব দিয়েছেন এবং ওনার জন্য এটি শুধু পরীক্ষার জন্য মুখস্থ করার ব্যাপার ছিল না। তিনি বিশ্বাস করতেন যে শিক্ষা আমাদের কেবল বুদ্ধিবৃত্তিক ভাবে নয়, নৈতিক ও আধ্যাত্মিক ভাবেও ক্ষমতাবান করে তুলবে। তিনি বলেছিলেন, শিক্ষা হলো মানুষের মধ্যে নিহিত পরিপূর্ণতার প্রকাশ। স্বামীজির জন্য শিক্ষা মস্তিষ্কের তথ্য ভরাট করার ব্যাপার তো ছিলই না, বরং এটি ছিল যা ইতিমধ্যে ভেতরে রয়েছে তা উদ্ঘাটন করার ব্যাপার। যদিও আজকের সেশনটি আমাদের আনুষ্ঠানিকভাবে সমাপ্তি চিহ্নিত করে, তবে এই কোর্সের মাধ্যমে যে জ্ঞান আপনি অর্জন করেছেন, এটি জীবনের জন্য। স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ বিশ্বাস করতেন, আধ্যাত্মিক জ্ঞান শুধু ব্যক্তিকে নয়, সমগ্র জাতিকেও উন্নত করতে পারে। এবং যদিও শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণ পরমহংসদেব সরল জীবনের পক্ষপাতী ছিলেন, এবং তিনিও একমত হতেন যে একবার এই জ্ঞানের স্বাদ পেলে এটি উপেক্ষা করা কঠিন। আর এই শিক্ষা চিরকালীন এবং এগুলি আপনাকে জীবনের আশা করি সমস্ত জীবনের যত জটিলতা সব মোকাবিলা করতে সাহায্য করবে। আজকে অপরিসীম শ্রদ্ধা ও উৎসাহ সহকারে আমি জানাচ্ছি যে আমাদের সাথে উপস্থিত রয়েছেন স্বয়ং প্রিন্সিপাল মহারাজ স্বামী মহাপ্রজ্ঞানন্দজি। ওনাকে পেয়ে আমরা আনন্দিত। আমাদের এই সম্প্রতি শেষ হওয়া অনলাইন কোর্স ইন্ডিয়ান নলেজ সিস্টেম IKS কোর্স, এর সমাপনী সেশনটি আমি চাই আপনি পরিচালনা করুন, যা গত 6 মাস ধরে আমাদের প্রতিষ্ঠান এবং আপনাদের রামকৃষ্ণ বিদ্যা মন্দিরের সাথে এক যৌথ উদ্যোগ ছিল। 2024 সালের 12ই মার্চ শুরু হওয়া এই কোর্সটি সকল অংশগ্রহণকারীদের জন্য একটি গভীর সমৃদ্ধ অভিজ্ঞতা ছিল, আশা করি আমার সাথে সবাই একমত হবেন। এবং আমরা বিশ্বাস করি যে স্বামীজি আপনার আজকের অমূল্য অন্তর্দৃষ্টি আবারও একটি গুরুত্বপূর্ণ উপসংহার প্রদান করবে আমাদের।
আমার তেমন কিছু বলার নেই, তবে খুবই সমৃদ্ধ হয়েছে, একটা নতুন ইতিহাস সংস্কৃতির দিক খুলে গেছে আমার কাছে এই কোর্সটা করে। এবং সবচেয়ে বড় ব্যাপার আমার কাছে যেটা লেগেছে, যে অচেনাকে চেনা, অজানাকে জানা, এই দুটো মন্ত্র খুবই কাজ করেছে। সত্যি কি আমরা ভারতীয় সংস্কৃতি সম্পর্কে কিছু জানতাম, বা যা পড়ে এসেছি তার সঙ্গে কি সত্যি আমরা এতটা আগে আরো গভীরভাবে কি সমৃদ্ধ কি হয়েছিলাম? এই প্রথমবার হলাম এই কোর্সটার মধ্যে দিয়ে, সেটা আমি বুঝতে পেরেছি।
Well, very good. So now let me quickly check that I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So let me check very quickly that how many of you having a difficulty to understand Bengali, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Anand Yatri, Mr. Tarun Gupta. Okay. Mr. Anand Yatri. Okay. So, Mr. Yatri, namaste.
Namaskar.
So,
Namaste,
Mr. Yatri, you joined from which part of our country?
Maharaj, actually I am from Nagpur.
Okay.
And I have done my education from Bombay.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Mr.
if you remember,
Gupta?
Maharaj, we met lastly in during the youth convention at Belur Math.
Oh, yes, sure. Now I can little call up. And Mr. Tarun Gupta, you are from?
Namaskar, sir. Sir, I have joined from Ghaziabad, near Delhi.
Okay, so you understand little Bengali, right?
No, sorry.
So
I
you
am
also
either Hindi or English. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I will, and Shamasray Sharma,
Yes, Maharaj.
you are from?
Sir, I am from
Oh.
Agorpada and
Oh, বুঝতে পেরেছি। হ্যাঁ, now.
and sir, হ্যাঁ Maharaj.
Ex-student. Okay, fine.
না স্যার আমি এখনো পড়ছি হিস্ট্রি ডিপার্টমেন্ট সেকেন্ড ইয়ার।
ঠিক our student, ঠিক আছে, fine, okay, fine. So then it will be good if we make this entire presentation English. So it is all, since all of us we are conversant with English, so it will be good if I speak in English. Okay. So I'll be happy if you have no problem, if you can please switch on your camera. Switch on. Am I audible?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, ইয়েস।
Okay, okay, okay. Yes. Rajabhishek. Yes. Mrityunjay Chatterjee, Anand Giri, Anand Yatri, D. Chakravarti. Yes. And 5 others. Let me see. Shobhik Paul, Surajit Kole. Yes. Because it is good if I can see your faces, right? The conversation becomes more lively. Huh? Just, you know, I don't want to recollect those days. Just, you know, 2 to 3 years back, the entire world underwent, we all had to underwent such a unbearable situation. And none of us, I'm quite sure, none of us will be interested to recollect those days. Now, that time, this was the only medium available. Definitely, it worked, right? This is the only medium, perhaps, to interact with people when the entire world got locked down, under lockdown. So it was like that. Shurajit Kole, very nice to see you all. And now, yeah. My greetings, Happy New Year to everybody. And I'm Mahaprajnanandaji Swami. Right now, I am at the office of Ramakrishna Mission Vidyamandira, its principal office. And I'm happy to have my students here. One of my students, he is also with this. I think I am perfectly audible. Okay? Should I? Fine. Good. Now, Indic study. Right now, in today's world, a very popular thing what is going on, initiative of, as one of the wonderful initiatives of Government of India, it is called IKS, Indian Knowledge System, right? And this Indic Studies also had some component connection. What is this Indic Studies? Because any kind of study related to India. And we have another very popular, quote unquote, well-known term, what is called Indology. This is very quite old term. It is a coinage of Britishers in India. So Indology, the study of India. Whatever, you know, this verbatim or this jargon or any kind of this pronunciation words, okay. But what ultimately the entire gamut deals with, or the entire gamut is, interest is, focus is India and its knowledge system. And what was that? So in coming half an hour or 30, 35 minutes, I don't continue my class more than 30, 35 or 40 minutes. So I'm going to do that. What is essential Indian knowledge? What it exactly spoke about? So very briefly, it is good to know. Already, I think you have come to know. You had idea after completion of this course. But what is that? I quote it from Upanishad. Dve vidye veditavye parachaiva aparacha. Dve vidye veditavye parachaiva aparacha. There are 2 types of knowledge, 2 knowledge systems. One is para vidya. the other is Aparavidya. Dve Vidye Veditavye. Taittiriya Upanishad and many other Upanishads speaks about it. What is Paravidya? Paravidya speaks about the Atma Jnana, the knowledge. You see how wonderful the approach is. Paravidya what? The Vidya related to your own self. Atma Tatya. Self-knowledge. The second one, Apara, it is just the reverse, which is not about realizing your own self. It is the proclamation, rather, this is the scheme of Indian knowledge system. One is to know about yourself, who you are, what is your real nature, where are you from, why are you here, why we suffer, what are the roots of entire problems, what are the problems, how to deal. And this is the one. The second one is about the external nature. See, it's our very common experience. We, as a human being, we are not independent existence, independent personality. We are being influenced continuously by numerous external factors. So, it is quite also important to know about nooks and corners about this external objects. So there it comes Aparavidya. So the knowledge which is which speaks about, which deals with, which is essentially centered upon the external world is called Aparavidya. So Atma Vidya, Atma Tatya, and the second one is other knowledges apart from Atma Tatya. So from this point we start. So Paravidya, better to say. Paravidya, as I told, it is the knowledge of self. What I said, I repeat, Paravidya is the knowledge of self, number one. Number two, how to have that knowledge of self. Very simple, absolutely simple. Upanishad speaks about how to go there, or our Shastra says how to get it, how to read that. Advaita Vedanta, the structure of the traditional framework of Advaita Vedanta says that it is not very difficult. You yourself, it is only one and one entity. What Advaita Vedanta says about Atman or Brahman, that Atman or Brahman is manifesting through each one of us, each object, in trees, in stars, in galaxies, even through human being. It is compared with some different types of mirrors, right? Some mirror is big, some are small, some are oval, some are short, like that. Some directed like this, some directed like that, whatsoever. So different mirror, but the same sun is reflected. The light of sun, effulgence of the sun, is reflected in various ways through different mirrors. This is the scheme of Advaita Vedanta. So that Atman is projecting through this different creatures or this difference existent in this world. And we being the human being is, this human birth is most precious, as Vedanta proclaims. Why? Because assuming human body, we can understand this particular thing, that we are eternally infinite, but we are being limited by the ignorance or ajnana or maya. And with this particular frame, human mind, human body frame, we can break this bondage, or we can break this, we can extinguish this darkness, and we can get the effulgent light. That is Atma Vidya or Paravidya. And Aparavidya, all worldly knowledge, science, physics, chemistry, mathematics, engineering, and it was also wonderful in ancient India. You just can't imagine where it all this apara vidya, this all this worldly knowledge, all this world, informative knowledge system, where it reached. It is absolutely beyond our imagination. Suppose in third century, when in the Gupta period, third century, to get admission in Indian universities, thousands of students from different parts of the world, they used to be gathered in Nalanda, Takshashila. This group of students, many times they were absolutely talented, just like Fayen, Yuan Sang. They came from China. Number of students, they came from Greece, Rome, in those days, all those civilization. And they came here and they were very much eager to get admission to the then Indian universities to learn, to get knowledge, to be informed about different types of vidyas, all the apara-vidyas. So, engineering, science, technology, Ayurveda, medicine, and so on and so on. First time when I saw, I think many of you, especially someone, I think Anand ji, he is from Maharashtra. So definitely you have seen that from Aurangabad, I visited this, cave paintings of Ajanta and Ellora. And I also visited from Bhopal, very wonderful temples called Kailas temple, right? So I think many of you, we have already seen that Kailas temple, famous. If you see the engineering, the architecture, seeing Kailas temple for the first time, I was wonderstruck. Apart from its external beauty, you see, this architecture, their engineering, science, based on 4 pillars, this entire temple is standing. So that was Aparavidya in India. It also reached the quite height, rather, if this is, the pinnacle of supremacy. It reached. So it's like that. Now these are 2 types of vidyas. And in ancient India, our motherland, they reached the top of both Atma Vidya, Atma Tatya, one hand, and the other hand, the worldly knowledge. One is spiritual knowledge, one hand, the other hand is secular knowledge. So that's why in Shastra it is called, as I started, Dve Vidye Veditavye Parachaiva Paracha. So that is the entire nutshell of Indian knowledge system. And especially, Indians developed absolutely a very rich philosophical tradition. Some is called orthodox philosophy and heterodox philosophy. So orthodox philosophy, this philosophical school had very strong faith on the supremacy of Vedas. And heterodox school, exactly, it had not. Well, now today I will discuss in this final session about some jewels, some practice, some very simple moral codes, moral component by which we can make our life better. I repeat, some component, very essential component of ethics and morality drawn from this ancient Indian knowledge system. Number 1, and some very interesting, some very fruitful practices which are also essential, which are also helpful to make this life, to make our life accomplished. So I will focus on those in brief. First component is Shraddha. What is Shraddha? Shraddha means, generally by the term Shraddha, we understand in today's term, showing respect or showing regard to anyone. I repeat, the Hindi word or Bengali word or Sanskrit word Shraddha. Right now, in today's world, we understand by, yeah, oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Yatri. Yes, this Shraddha means actually faith. In Hindi, it comes Shraddhalu. Shraddhalu means faithful. Yes, Shraddha exactly means faith. But faith, simple, it's not simple faith. But faith on what? In scripture, it comes in this way: Shastreshu Guruvakyeshu Vishwasa iti Shraddha. So, having faith on Shastra and Guru Vakyas is called Shraddha. What kind of thing is this? Let me tell you a story. It's a very beautiful story. It's a story of thousands of years ago. It happened in India. There was one rishi. His name was Vajashrava. Huh? Vajashrava. So this Vajashrava rishi, he was in those days, he was performing one yajna. Yajna is a very common thing in those days. It was a very popular ritual in the society of ancient India. Wonderful, a very popular ritual. So Vajashrava was performing one particular yajna in his house. And it was customary in those days. We see the same things, same practices even today. If somebody comes, very special marriage ceremony or somewhere, if some special guest comes, we offer them or him or her some gift. That was the same practice prevalent in those days. So at the end of this ritual, Rishi Vajasrava, he was giving away some cows, because cows were considered a very wonderful wealth in those days. So he was giving away the cows as gift to his honorable guests. But unfortunately, the cows were not of good health. Pitodaka Dugdadoha Jagdatrina Nirindriyaha. The cows are of absolutely no use. They are not in a position to give milk. They are not in a position to beget calves. So that was very miserable condition. Absolutely very lean and thin and useless cattle he was giving away. And he had one very beautiful and very talented son, and his name was Nachiketa. So it is said that Nachiketa got afraid seeing the behavior of his father. He started thinking, my father is definitely going to incur terrible sin by giving away such cows to the guest, because absolutely the cows are of no use. Why is he doing such thing in such a way? Absolutely they are useless for anybody. And he was afraid that the father will incur terrible sin by doing such action. Then he thought, out of his Shraddha means he had a lot of faith on his father and word of his father. So he started thinking, Shraddha Vivesa. He went to father and he thought that since my father loves me, to him I am priceless. I am the most precious thing to my father. So suppose perhaps if my father gives me to someone, his papa or the sin can be little bit less. So with this idea, Shraddha, have tremendous faith on the words of his father to save his father from incurring sins. He went and approached him and started telling, to whom are you going to give me? But his father got annoyed. 1, 2, 3 times he asked. Then his father got very annoyed and said, Mritvaveta dadamiti. I'll give you to the hand of Yama. Go. Yam ke paas to tere ko bhej raha hu. And see, since his father said that I am giving you to the hand of Yama, again, being influenced, being overpowered, being, convinced by the component of Shraddha, this faith, the story of that Upanishad, very famous Upanishad, Kathopanishad, the story goes like that. This very beautiful young child of the Rishi Vajasrama, he even reached the house of Yama, the god of death. And that was a wonderful conversation between the god of death, Yama, and this young child, young boy, Nachiketa. Very, very intelligent. And he was quite keen to know about Atma Tattva, Paravidya. Over and again, he started asking Yama. Then this god of death trying to allure him by many ways. He said, why are you? Don't ask me such question. What was the question? What happens to people after death? You see, it's a very, very, very common question. It's a very common quest for all of us, right? So it is very simple, quite common. Then finally, Yama taught him the Atma Vidya, and that is all about Kathopanishad. So this component is called Shraddha. Then, if we summarize it, what is this actually? Another story, a very famous story narrated by Sri Ramakrishna Thakur. Sri Ramakrishna told also similar story. There was a boy. In those days, it was not like today. Pool car, to go to school, English medium school, pool car, wonderful road connectivity, mobile phone, this bus and all, cabs, no, nothing. So the poor boy, his mother was very poor, widow mother. He used to go to his school, in those days, Pathashala, and he had to cross a very, very deep forest on his way. Now, while going, the boy got used to, be grief-stricken, fear-stricken, because small boy, seeing such forest and walking lonely there, many times he used to become grief-stricken and, afraid, feeling some fear, very common. Then one day, that small boy came to his mother and told, Mother, why don't you give me one escort? I feel quite afraid sometimes seeing this darkness, forest, and I have to go all the way alone. Mother was in big trouble. How to pursue this small young son? Because if she says that, oh my dear, I'm so poor that I can't afford one escort for you, that was not possible. The boy will not understand what is poverty and what is the problem. Naturally, the young boy, so mother knew that she could not satisfy him putting that logic. Then what the mother did was excellent. Mother told his son, oh dear, tomorrow when you go, make it sure that you have one younger brother inside that forest. His name is Madhusudana. Whenever you feel afraid, whenever you be afraid, just call him aloud and he will definitely help you. That much mother told. Now you see, again this concept of Shraddha. Mother had told. Since mother had told, immediately that small child had complete faith. Acha, mother had told me, Zarur to koi na koi to hai hi. Next day while going, again he is feeling little bit afraid and nobody started calling. Madhusudan Dada. Dada means in Bengali, elder brother. Madhusudan Dada. Nobody is coming out. Who will come? Who will come out of that forest? Nobody was coming. Then the boy started sobbing, crying. My mother said that you are there. You are my beloved elder brother. My mother said you are there. And she also told me, she confirmed that if I call you aloud, definitely will come and help me. But why are you not coming? Narrating this story, Sri Ramakrishna said, hearing this yearning, seeing the yearning, listening to this cry of the very, very innocent young child, God could not restrain himself. Assuming a form, assuming a boy, little elderly boy, he appeared before him and held his hand, telling, "Oh, brother, I am with you." So the entire moral of this story is Shraddha. Shraddha means this faith. Remember, this is not any kind of dogmatic faith. It is not dogmatic. This dogma is a biblical word. It's not any dogmatism. No, it is not any fanaticism. No, it is not any type of narrowness, sectarianism. No, it is no sectarian faith. This is no narrowness, no bigotry, nothing, no fanaticism. This is pure faith. That is called Shraddha. In Bengali, Sri Ramakrishna says, "Baloker moto vishwas." You see, you see the beauty of this thing. Baloker moto vishwas. Faith like a child. As the mother, a child has faith on his or her mother. Mother or father is telling, yes, that component is essential. Shraddha. So, Kathopanishad, entire the story of Kathopanishad, these things are there. Now, how we will imbibe it in today's world, in our daily life, this Shraddha? Very simple practice. We must have faith at least that what our elders have taught us, what the scripture says, there are some good component. This thing are for our betterment. Again, Swamiji had said, Swami Vivekananda, yes, we have completely faith on him because his life is his message. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Baladevacharya, Shankaracharya. So these are the world teachers. And what they had said, many points or many logic, we may not agree. It may so happen. If you read Shankara Bhashya, if you read Ramanuja Bhashya, Gita Bhashya or something like that, if you read their real works, many times we may not agree with their argument or logic. It may so happen. Again, I'm not telling you taking anything without reasoning. Many things may sound something different to all of us. Okay, whatever. But at least one conviction that yes, that is for the good of the society, good of the humanity. That faith on the words of our own parents, faith on the words of our teachers. So these are the practice of Shraddha. Because at least for our good, this much faith, whatever they are telling is for our good. I may not agree, I may differ, but at least আমার ক্ষতির জন্য मेरा बुराई के लिए ये लोग नहीं बोल रहे. इतना तक श्रद्धा इसको कहता है श्रद्धालु. Very essential concept, very important component to make our life better. Again, taking from Indian knowledge system, Shraddha. So there are many shlokas in Bhagavad Gita, in Upanishad. Kathopanishad goes like that. Ushanna vaiba vajasrava sarva veda samdadu tassaha nachiketa nama putra asam. So it goes like that. First thing. Second, another, just I'll wrap up with this. One, I spoke Shraddha. Second, another very important part, that is called Brahmacharya. Hearing this very word, you should not be worried. You should not be annoyed. You should not be disturbed. That Swamiji, being a sannyasi, he will go on talking now on Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya does not mean celibacy all the time. Definitely, celibacy or living the life of a celibate is definitely one of the essential parts of practicing brahmacharya. There is no doubt. But that is not all actually. What is brahmacharya? Brahmacharya means, it has been translated in English in this way: continence, continence, perseverance. What kind of continence? What kind of patience? It is continence, perseverance, continuous practice against our lower nature. Lower nature. What are lower natures? We know very well. 6 type of enemies are there inside us. 6 type of passions. Shraddha, passion, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsharya. So these type of passions are there. These are called lower nature. So what is brahmacharya? Brahmacharya is continuous practice. It's a mental practice more than physical. It's a mental practice as much as possible to get rid of the influence of lower nature. How to do that? Very simple. I say, generally at this stage, first condition of brahmacharya is focusing. Purity. Purity of what? First, purity of thought. If you have purity of thought, entire thing, that is a, master sutra, or it's a master key of unlocking the door of a huge bhandar, a huge stock of wealth. Purity in thought. That's the first step of brahmacharya. And how to do that? Very simple. Very simple. It is called indriya. Indriya means, all sense organ. We eat, we smell. So, whenever we eat, listen to me very carefully. Whenever we eat, we don't eat rotten food, right? Because we know if we eat rotten food, immediately we'll get tummy ache, stomach ache. That's why we don't. But while getting input from other sense organ, we are not that much discriminative. Means eye, nose, ear. We indiscriminately incur information through other indriyas, and that affect our mind. Because food means it's a different type of food, and food will definitely affect our psychophysical system as a whole. So, to practice brahmacharya, we have to be selective. We have to be a little bit selective. Remember, as much as possible, you will embrace the world, worldly thought. Worldly means what it meant by worldly. I already told, those thought, those food means not only physical food but information. Those food or those information, those things help us to fight against all this lower nature. Fight means to keep them under control. These are good. And the reverse is opposite, not good. So we have to be discriminative while intake. That will affect our favorable food, will help us to think us properly. Again, food means not physical food. All kind of food, all kind of input, favorable input will help us to do it in a better way. And food which are not favorable, effect will be just the reverse. I'll narrate you one story. 3 friends, they were walking on the bank of a river. It was a very sunny day. Sunshine was everywhere. Then one of the boys, one of the person, he noticed On that river flowing, one blanket. It is shining. Sunlight was just falling on. It was reflected from the surface of the blanket. It is just like small pearls. And all of them become very interested. Arey, what is this? Something going on. Then one fool of those three said, hey, why don't you, he's telling another, why don't you get into the water and bring the blanket to us? It is wonderful. None of them could think that blanket can never flow on the water. It cannot. It will immediately drown, right? Blanket, कंबल, वो कैसे पानी के ऊपर जाएगा? ये संभव ही नहीं है, असंभव, नामुमकिन है. लेकिन इन तीनों बच्चों में किसी का ये दिमाग नहीं था, सोचने का लायक नहीं था. तो one of them, he jumped and grabbed the कंबल. Then other two, they were seeing, they were watching. They were swimming, he was swimming and grabbed it. Then they are telling, hey, come back, you got it. Then that boy from the water, he started shouting, अरे ये कमली मेरे को छोड़ता नहीं रे. What happened? कमली छोड़ता नहीं, क्यों? वो एक भालू था. और भालू, it was a bear. It was swimming. Now, as he grabbed that bear also grabbed him. So, if we are not discriminative in our input, that same thing will also grab us. As much as you grab those things, it will grab you. And your thought process will become impure. What does it mean? Do we have to cut off from the entire world? No, absolutely I'm not talking. Should we not browse Facebook? Should we not see WhatsApp? Should we not update something in our X handle? I'm not telling that. Just you sit and meditate, being cut off from everything. What I am doing here. So morning to night, I go on working. Even still I am in my office. After this session, I'll lock my office and I'll go for meditation in my room. What am I doing here? I am also doing everything. But we have to be discriminative. What should we see? What should we hear? What should we speak? What should we eat? Then that will help us to purify our thought process. Absolutely. Reading good books. I tell you, you read a good book and you see the effect before you go to sleep at night. Many times, this is my wonderful same experience. If you read some good book, wonderful book, right? When you go to sleep, you will have definitely a good dream. Good dream. If some other thing starts coming, it will go away. You go to temple. You repeat the name of God. You write something good. You speak something good. I think you are sufficient. When you can very well understand what I'm talking about. Our thought will be good. And that is the fast practice of Brahmacharya. If the thought process is good, then gradually you will have absolute control on your body and mind. That is the first process. What the yogis, what the monks, sadhus, sannyasis, they do. They purify their process of thinking. Brahmacharya is more mental than physical. Physical Brahmacharya is Swamiji, very beautiful. If you read the books, Swamiji said, in Bengali one place he wrote, শরীরটা তো আসলে মনের খোলস, মন যা বলবে শরীরটাকে তাই করতে হবে। শরীরটা তো আসলে মনেরই খোলস, মন যা বলবে ওকে তাই করতে হবে। You see, mind is more important. Mind can have extreme, absolute control on your body. So that is a traditional practice of all sannyasins, all brahmacharis, those who are interested the life to lead a God-oriented life, good life. First, they purified this thought process. You read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, you read the life of Vivekananda, you read the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you read the life of Namdev, Tukaram, all the saints, right? Eknath, all the sants, Gyaneshwar in Maharashtra is very popular. Gyaneshwari, Sant Gyaneshwar, his life. And anyone, Surdas, those who led this type of life, if you read, I found a similarity, one common point. This point they all practiced. What is that? Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means this thought purification. And this purification of thought will have a wonderful effect on your body. Gradually, everything will come under control. What is the utility of practicing this type of life or having this type of thing? The utility or the importance is you will gain much more power of intellect. You will get much more vigor. You will get this type of life, pure life. Intentionally, if you don't allow your extra energy to go, it will give tremendous vigor to your body and mind. With that, you can grasp knowledge. With that, you can grasp tremendous knowledge, all subtle knowledge. Swami Vivekananda used to tell, Medha Nadi khule jai. Medha Nadi, it will be open. And with that pure mind, you can visualize the things clear. God realization, to have to see the nature of God. This year-long brahmacharya practice, this is called continence, purity, practice of purity is essential. This is also another very interesting incident. For the time being, I suggest you, এটা আমার পরামর্শ আপনাদের সকলের কাছে যে এই অভ্যাস, এক শ্রদ্ধা আর এক ব্রহ্মচর্য. One is Shraddha, the other one is Brahmacharya. These two things I discussed with you, and I sincerely, fervently pray to God so that your life be blissful with His eternal mercy. Thank you. आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार, धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Swamiji. Swamiji, I have a question. At what point,
Tell me.
or I mean to say, at which area of subject this Paravidya and Aparavidya can reconcile?
Yes, tell me.
Swamiji, at what point can this Paravidya and Aparavidya reconcile? I mean to say, is there any area of subject that belongs to psychology or like that, or consciousness studies? Is there anything like that?
Yes, very much. Very much. Right now, today's world, in present context, the study of this consciousness has become very, very popular. Consciousness studies. In many European and American universities, these are being taught. This is one of the hot topics of today. Number of books are there. Number of positive psychologists are there. They are very sincerely working on this particular field, consciousness studies. It can be reconciled. Yes, very much it can be reconciled. How to reconcile these two vidyas? Answer is very simple. Sri Ramakrishna used to give a very beautiful example. You can say it's a simile or metaphor. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, if your toe, listen to me very carefully, if your toe is being pricked by one small needle, What will you do that? You are walking on a lawn barefoot and you got one small needle pricked at your toe. What will you do to bring out that needle or piece of needle? You have to use another needle, little sharper, little stronger needle to bring it out. After bringing it out, what is your next action? You have to throw both the needles because because the function is over, right? So paravidya, that is also subjective. Sorry, that is objective. Aparavidya is also objective.
Okay.
But the real knowledge is subjective. Atma Tatya, Atma Vidya. Upanishad will tell you how to practice this discrimination. Bhagavad Gita will teach you how to practice jnana and bhakti. Remember, this is not physics, chemistry, but again, this is objective. You can say what it speaks about, but the real knowledge, Atma Vidya, Paravidya, is never objective. It is never the object of discussion. In Bengali, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, if I translate it to Hindi, दुनिया का सब कुछ उच्छिष्ट हो गया, केवल ब्रह्म नहीं हुआ. Except Brahman, all entire objects are being uchishta. Uchishta means it is chutta ho gaya. It is tasted by someone, or it has come out from the mouth. Right? If somebody speaks something with their mouth or tongue, Sri Ramakrishna, dunia sob eto hoye geche, shudhu Brahma chhada. Brahma ki ta keu bolte pareni. What is Brahman? Nobody could tell it because it is very subjective. It is your own nature. As I told, Paravidya is to know how that one and oneself, Atman or God, whatever you say, Atman or Brahman or God is manifesting through this body and mind, through the stars, through this moon. To know this, Atma Vidya. So if you read Upanishad, this is also objective. That will take you, Paravidya also will take you towards your self-realization. But after realization, Paravidya and Aparavidya both become objective and you become subjective. You become the subject. And that subject is Atman. That, that famous shloka, young Shankaracharya, small boy, Shankaran, his father was Shiva Guru. So Shankara, small boy, he walked all along from Kaladi. In those days, it is called Vrishachalam. All the way from Kaladi to Narmada, Omkareshwar. It is in, this Omkareshwar right now, Madhya Pradesh, MP, Malwa land. So he walked all the way and he met his Guru, Govinda Bhagavat Pada. So Govinda Bhagavat Pada is very interesting. This cave is still there. If anyone can go, he can see where Govinda Bhagavat Pada used to sit, and he was completely merged into deep samadhi, deep meditation. And for years together, without food and water, he was completely immersed in deepest meditation rather. Then when this young boy went and asked, and he was started calling his Guru, then the story says that Govinda Bhagavat Pada gradually started getting back his consciousness and asked the small boy, opened his eyes slowly and asked the boy, who are you? Kastom. In Sanskrit, tell me, who are you? Where are you from? Kuta ayataha. Then that young Shankara replied in a beautiful verse. Beautiful verse. This is called Nirvana Shatakam. It is said, the story goes like that. When his Guru, Govinda Bhagavat Pada, to whom he came, that even that time he was not his Guru because he came and prayed him that you accept me as one of your disciples. Then the first word he asked Govinda Bhagavat Pada to Shankara, who are you? Where are you from? Then Shankara replied, beautiful. You see the reconciliation of Parayana Paravidya. He replied in a verse, Mano Buddhya Hankara Chittani Naham Nacha Shrotra Juhe Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhumi Na Tejo Na Vayo Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Manobuddhyahankara Chittani Naham. Not I am not my body, not my mind. Mana Buddhi Ahankara, not I am ego, not I am all the sense organs. Tongue, eye, ear. Nacha Vyoma Bhumi, na Tejo na Vayu, not neither I am the five elements. Kshiti Ap Teja Marudbham. So these five elements ultimately constructing this huge universe. I am not that. Who am I? Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am He. I am Shiva means not God Shiva. It is Shantam Shivam Advaitam. Shiva means that phenomenon, not Lord Shiva, not Mahadeva. Here Shiva means Shantam Shivam Advaitam. So that Shiva, that sense Shiva. So that truth personified, that purity personified, that Atman, it is Shiva. So that is real Paravidya. Paravidya means Atma Vidya, realizing your own self, who you are. It is our ignorance that we assume ourselves with body and mind. You may ask me, Maharaj, you are feeling thirsty. That is why I was taking tea while discussing with you. After half an hour or 1 hour, we all will feel hungry. We'll go for our dinner. And after 2 hours of dinner, we'll all feel snoopy and we'll sleep. How can we feel that we see our bodily existence? How can we see Atman? Are these not philosophy or philosophical dictums? I say no, it's not philosophical dictum. We are, with the effect of ignorance, Maya, we are being deluded. It is our problem out of the effect of Maya that we are considering ourselves embodied. Upanishad speaks very beautifully. Acha, when you are in deep sleep, just think of rapid eye movement sleep, another sleep when we see the dream, and maybe some 10 minutes, 20 minutes or 30 minutes per night, we sleep, we go such a state, and it is absolute darkness. It is called Sushupti, deep sleep. Even in this physiology, it is there, human physiology. Deep sleep means it's complete darkness. Even in that darkness where you are nowhere. Neither you have your mind, nor you have your body, nor you have your memory, but still you are. That is one of the proofs. That is one of the proofs that we are not being limited. Apart from when our body and minds are absent, we know that we are there. So that itself is one of the proofs. It is called Avasthatraya Vichara in Vedanta. Beautiful books are there, very small books and booklets. It is called Avasthatraya Vichara. One of the most prominent, one of the very logical ways of discrimination. It starts with, we consider ourselves always embodied. But where this body and mind go? Where this body and mind remains when we are in deep sleep? And we come back and we can find ourselves embodied. It proves, one of the proofs that we are not only body and mind. We have beyond some existence. out of this body and mind. রবীন্দ্রনাথের একটা খুব সুন্দর গান আছে, এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি, বিউটিফুল সং। দেহ মনের সুদূর পারে হারিয়ে ফেলি আপনার। So beautiful, you see. So thank you very much.
And any more questions? Anyone? Any questions, anybody?
ঠিক আছে। I generally don't take class more than 30, 35, 40 minutes.
না, আপনাকে তো পাওয়া যায় না, অ্যাকচুয়ালি পেয়েছি এটাই।
মানে হ্যাঁ, 1 ঘন্টার বেশি হয়ে গেছে।
যতটা পারছি নিগড়ে নেওয়ার আর কি।
না ঠিক আছে, আর কারো কিছু না থাকলে তাহলে ঠিক আছে। সকলকে ধন্যবাদ, থ্যাংক ইউ,
শুভরাত্রি, অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ
থ্যাংক ইউ
Thank you very much.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Pranam Maharaj. Pranam Maharaj.